Movie theater chains are up in arms after Warner Brothers' decision to release its full slate of movies in 2021 on HBO Max at the very same time they're going to be released in the theaters. Here to talk about this now is Chris Velazco. He is senior editor at Engadget. Chris, good to see you. So is this the nail in the coffin for these struggling movie theater chains?
It really does start to feel like it. If you look at the financial performances of some of the major movie theater chains since the beginning of the year, AMC, who has recently sort of come up in arms about this decision, they've been down in terms of stock price about 50% since the beginning of the year. Cinemark, another one of the major movie theater chains, down more than 50%, though they have seen a bit of an uptick in stock price recently. So, I mean, that minor uptick aside, it does very much seem like these chains are continuing to fight for survival, and Warner Media's announcement really isn't helping them at all.
What are we going to see in 2021? Is there going to be major consolidation in this space? Or are these companies just simply going to go out of business? And among them, when you look at the names out there, who do you think we don't see at the end of 2021 when it comes to the movie theater chains?
I hate to say it, as a person who has sort of grown up sort of with an AMC movie theater very, very close by basically at all times, I'm not convinced they're going to make it through the next year. I mean, again, their stock price is down. They've been skirting against bankruptcy fairly recently. It doesn't look like anything that they have to rely on in the near future could change that. As you point out, consolidation is a possibility, but to be completely frank, I'm not super up to date on sort of what's happening in that space. It does seem in large part, though, to be a really big blow for not just the personal experience of going to the movies, but for the social and cultural and sort of business respects as well. So I don't think we're going to see very many of these chains come out of 2021 in anything approaching good shape. And that's in some ways a loss for all of us.
You know, post this pandemic, do you think that the movie companies are going to release their films in theaters again in a large way? I mean, Warner Brothers is saying they're going to commit to this plan for 1 year. But are we going to perhaps get used to watching these blockbusters on our devices, on our televisions, through our streaming services, and not be willing to go back to the theaters, even post the pandemic?
I like to think there's some contingent of people out there who are just so enamored with the classic cinema experience that they would want to continue seeing movies in theaters after the fact. But depending on how Warner Media's experiment goes, there might not be much incentive from a business side for companies to continue dealing with movie theaters. As Warner Media pointed out earlier this week, the full slate of their 2021 movies, that's going directly to HBO Max, that will be available for free, no additional cost to people who are already subscribers to the service. And it's worth noting that there are a lot of really interesting touch points that AT&T brings to the table here. AT&T owns Warner Media. They also obviously operate their own sort of nationwide wireless network. If you, for instance, have certain AT&T wireless plans, you get HBO Max for free. So if you're the kind of person who maybe never thought about spending an additional $15 on another streaming service, there's sort of a side door that you might be able to access the service through. And because of that, you're getting access to movies that you might actually have wanted to see in a theater otherwise. So there's a lot of potential for this move to serve purely AT&T and its own constituents to the detriment of basically everybody else.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Chris Velazco, senior editor at Engadget. Thank you.
Thanks very much.